Just because people condemn a particular terrorist attack do not mean they will actually stand with you. Whatever action will have to be taken, we will have to take the action on our own. We should not expect any assistance or any support from any other country. I think it's humiliating for any country to be, having your soldiers strut around like roosters. I don't know what we are trying to do. The most significant decision was the putting the Indus Waters Treaty in abeyance. Given how the Pakistanis normally behave, I think there will be a lot of bombast, typical Punjabi bombast coming out of Pakistan, that we will show India, we will dare India, etc., etc. We need to take kinetic action, but not until we are prepared to go on the escalation ladder to the point where a war breaks out between India and Pakistan. Look, I don't take any of the condemnations seriously. Just because people condemn a particular terrorist attack do not mean they will actually stand with you. So I think India needs to be very clear in her mind that whatever action will have to be taken, we will have to take the action on our own. We should not expect any assistance or any support from any other country. If it comes, well and good. But otherwise, I don't think we should bank upon anybody supporting us. So yes, at the diplomatic level, the Prime Minister has thanked all the people who have condemned this incident. But look, words come cheap. The question is people who've condemned it and who are actually horrified by this carnage which has been carried out by Pakistani terrorists. What are they willing to do about it? Is it just empty words, or will they do something about it? And out there, I think the answer will probably be in the negative. So I don't expect anything to come out of that. On the other hand, I think what the Prime Minister has said, it's a very clear warning that, and it's a very clear signal that India is not going to just let this, pass by the side. Now, what exactly is the actions we will take remains to be seen. But I think in terms of the resolve of the government and probably the country, that has been expressed very, very clearly by the Prime Minister, that we are not going to let this go, that people who carried out the attack and people who planned the attack. So I think he is clearly pointing fingers at the Pakistani handlers and the planners of this attack. And according to reports which are coming in, this attack was sanctioned at the highest level in Pakistan. And highest level does not mean the peon called Shahbaz Sharif. The highest level means the army chief, the mullah called Asim Munir. That is the highest level in Pakistan, and it has been approved by him. He has given the go-ahead for this kind of an attack. So quite clearly, the Prime Minister is firing shots at them and telling them that they are now in the crosshairs. But we'll have to wait and see what is the kind of actions that the government will take.
Let's talk about the CCS meeting. Yesterday, the meeting took place. They discussed about it, and it was briefed by the Foreign Secretary. So they talked about the Indus Water Treaty. What kind of implications do you think it can have? And they also decided to close the Atari-Wagah border, suspension of the Indus Water Treaty with Pakistan, and close that Wagah-Atari border. What kind of messaging India wants to send, and what kind of implication it can bring, according to you?
I think the messaging is very clear that India has hardened its stance and its position on Pakistan and the export of terrorism from Pakistan, and that there will be no quarter that will be given to Pakistan. So that's the message. Now it is what are the various steps that India is going to take in that direction. Now, I think all the steps that were announced yesterday are unexceptionable. Partly they are a messaging, a signal. Partly they are substantive. My own sense is that why only scrap SAARC visas? Why not scrap all visas? Why do we give thousands of Pakistanis visas to enter India? For what? Can we monitor all of them? How do we know that most of these guys are not crooks and criminals who are coming into India, even if they are coming to meet their relatives? Where is the guarantee that whatever information has been furnished is correct information. So I think all visas need to be scrapped completely. It's good that we have closed the Atari border, and I just hope that that circus which happens out there every afternoon, that is also shut down and shut down forever, and not just suspended. It should simply be called off. It does not behove a country like India to carry out that kind of drama on the border. It's the most cringe kind of thing which anybody can see, and it debases India. I think it's humiliating for any country to be having your soldiers strut around like roosters. I don't know what we are trying to do with that kind of cringe ceremonies. So that is good. But I think the most significant decision was the putting the Indus Waters Treaty in abeyance. Now, what will be the immediate impact of that? I think that's a matter of debate. That's a technical issue because water has to flow. You can't stop the water flowing nor can you divert it until and unless you have structures that will ensure that you can either impound the water or divert it. Now, not all structures are ready. There are a series of dams that we have, at least on the Chenab River. And I'm not entirely sure of how we can manipulate the river flows to punish Pakistan and manipulate the flow of water into Pakistan so that it proves really expensive for them, that you release the water when it's not required or when the crops are already destroyed, and you impound the water when the crops have to be watered. I don't know what is the capability. I don't have the data on that. But I think there are other projects which are underway already. We can use this suspension to simply double down on those projects, build them up at double speed, get them ready in the next few months, if possible, and be in a better position to use the Indus waters to punish Pakistan. Now, I think it is certainly not, and it cannot be anybody's case that the scrapping of the Indus Waters Treaty be made permanent. But I think linking up the Indus Waters Treaty with Pakistan's pernicious and inimical behavior and its export of terrorism, that is perfectly a legitimate thing to do. And Pakistan stops this kind of terrorism and the flow of terrorism and becoming the mothership of terrorism. I think that ship can then sail on the Indus waters and the waters can be released.
There was one more decision taken by CCS, and they said that the military, defense military naval and air advisors in the Pakistan High Commission are declared persona non grata, and they have been asked to leave India within a week. And similarly, we have, India is withdrawing its own defense navy advisors, air advisors from Indian High Commission in Islamabad, as these posts in the respective High Commission are deemed annulled.
So basically, I think this is a significant step because the idea of having these defense attaches in each other's country is to keep a certain line of communication open between the defense forces. When you shut down this particular channel, I think it's a very strong signal which is being sent that, look, no purpose is being served by keeping these positions open. In fact, in the Pakistani case, most of these guys are ISI goons who work as, the station of heads and other kind of positions of the ISI out here. And clearly, I think India has come to the conclusion that keeping these posts active is counterproductive. So we've scrapped it. It's a very strong signal. It does not have any immediate impact, but it does have, it's a signal which is unmistakable, and it does have an impact further down the line in terms of what are the kind of engagements you have in each other's countries. Look, in normal circumstances, it is important to have these positions and for officials to liaison between the two countries at the defense levels. Develop some kind of, understanding between the two militaries or the various wings of the militaries, so that, things do not go out of control. When you scrap these posts, you are literally sending out a signal that, look, if things are going to go out of control, just too bad.
Pakistan is also holding its NSC meeting, and what forward, what should be India's approach?
I think probably, I'm purely speculating, but given how the Pakistanis normally behave, I think there'll be a lot of bombast, typical Punjabi bombast coming out of Pakistan, that we will show India, we will dare India, etc., etc. There will be also a lot of blame game that India has blamed us. We might even see the Pakistanis saying that if India has evidence, why don't you share it with us? As though every time we've shared evidence in the past, the Pakistanis have moved on it. They haven't. So I think that is a thing which they've always done. I would expect something to this effect. There would probably be an announcement that we are going to engage with the international community and inform them of what India is doing. They will protest against the so-called warmongering in India. That kind of stuff will probably come through. Will there be... of course, they will also hold out the threat that if India was to try anything, Pakistan would retaliate with full force and India would not know what has hit it. That kind of... That's the Punjabi bluster I'm talking about. That will certainly happen. But beyond that, I'm wondering what else beyond that. But this is pretty much the ordinary stuff which they always do.
And this will go to the last question. What can you expect from India's side to react regarding the situation going forward? How do you think it's going to pan out?
Look, I don't know how it's going to pan out. I think the situation is extremely serious, extremely delicate, and very tense. I think there is a lot of anger in India, but I think it is important that India does not act out of anger. It is extremely important for India to do whatever we need to do, and we need to do a lot of things, but do it in a very cold, calculated manner. Don't do it because you are angry. That's the worst thing to do in this kind of a situation. Do it because you want to exact cold revenge, and you want to take steps which are actually going to prove deterrence. But also be prepared for the other side to up the ante and go up the escalation ladder. And until and unless we are ready to control the escalation dominance, which means that we are ready to go right up to, even into a war if necessary, until we are ready to do that, I don't think a kinetic action really makes a lot of sense. I think we need to take kinetic action, but not until we are prepared to go on the escalation ladder to the point where a war breaks out between India and Pakistan.